So the Vikings, they weren't even in the postseason this year. They were eliminated from making the playoffs after losing to the Chicago Bears in Week 17 at home at US Bank Stadium. But you know what? That's not to say that if you're part of Vikings Nation that you didn't experience a little bit of poetic justice on Sunday regarding that NFC Championship game. This is Realistic Randy of the Mediokr Best Sports Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. And just to provide a little bit of context, I like to think that I'm a Vikings fan. I hate the Saints with all my heart. I might hate them more than the Packers now that I think about it because they cheated. The Saints cheated. Their championship deserves an asterisk next to it. But I like to think, even though I'm a Vikings fan at heart, that when I'm doing these podcasts, I like to think that I'm somewhat decent at anyway, as far as being objective, taking my fandom off to the side and just saying, okay, taking all that away, this player or this team, how are they doing? Are they doing great? Are they doing okay? Are they doing poorly? If not, or if so, provide facts to back it up. That's how I think that I try to be. I like to think that I am. But with that said, this past Sunday for the NFC and AFC championship games, I picked the Saints and the Patriots to win those games, okay? And I wasn't rooting for the Saints to win. I was more so rooting to be right because last week in the divisional round, I went 1 for 4 in my picks. The only game that I got right was the Patriots over the Chargers. That was the only one I got right. So I was like, oh, man, I'm trying to hit both of these this week. But I was wrong. But getting back to the point, 5.5 minutes, it looked like that I was going to be right. It looked like the Saints were going to win that game. And about 5.5 minutes left, the second to last possession that the Rams had in the fourth quarter, 5.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they were like 4th and a millimeter or 4th and a hairline away from punching it into the end zone. And instead of going for it, because you think with the Rams, this is Sean McVay, oh, he's super aggressive, super innovative. He's not going to just settle for it. And they ended up settling for a field goal to tie the game 20-20. And at that point, I said, I'm about to be right. The Saints are about to win. You left Drew Brees 5 minutes off the clock, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And what's going to happen is a championship caliber team like Drew Brees and Sean Payton, you think to yourself, they're going to run the clock out. They're not going to give you any time to do anything. And they're basically going to end the game with a field goal, or they're going to score a touchdown with not that much time remaining. Okay, so they get the ball back, tied game 20-20. They get the ball back. They're running the ball. They're committing to the run, running hella clock off the game clock. And then all of a sudden they start abandoning the run game. They start throwing a couple of passes, a couple of incompletions. And then about a minute and 40 seconds-ish left, 3rd and 10, the non-call play, an obvious pass interference play that didn't result in a flag. Not only was it pass interference, it was helmet to helmet too. Obvious. I said this in real time. That's going to be a first down. No big deal. They didn't throw a flag. The whole world knew it except the referees, except the NFL officials that get paid, according to, last I checked, the Boston Globe, just north of $200,000 a year that these NFL officials get paid. That's crazy. They didn't throw a flag. Clearly, that was a sabotagical type of play where it's like, all you got to do is throw the flag, first down. They'll run the clock. The Rams, they call it like their second timeout. Run the clock. They'll kick the field goal. Game over. No big deal. Instead, they had to settle for a field goal. 3rd and 10 goes to 4th and 10. Settle for a field goal to go up 23-20. And we saw what happened the rest of the game. And you know it's crazy. I wanted the Saints to win because I wanted to be right. But once that pass interference, that non-pass interference play happened, something changed. You know how Bruce Banner, when he gets angry, he turns into the Incredible Hulk. Oh, Hulk smash. Oh, Hulk smash. I felt something change. So you know how earlier I said that as a Vikings fan, I like to be objective and I don't try to have my fandom take over. I felt my fandom take over. All of a sudden, I felt like purple rushing through my blood and just rushing through my veins, and just I felt something changing. I said, you know what? Screw my picks. I want the Saints to lose. And the reason why I wanted the Saints to lose at that moment is because if you remember, in the 2008 season, Tom Brady, first game of the year, I believe they went up against the Kansas City Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. First game of that year, Tom Brady tears his ACL and MCL after Bernard Pollard ran into his feet. Okay, so out for the whole year, Matt Castle took over, and we saw what happened. After that, once Tom Brady was out for the entire year, the NFL put an extra stamp on quarterback safety. They said, we can never let this happen again. Tom Brady is a marquee player. He brings in ratings. We cannot let guys like Matt Castle take over for an entire season. We need to protect these quarterbacks at all costs. And that's when you saw these infinite amount of penalties after penalties after penalties getting thrown out on roughing the passer calls. You could literally tap Tom Brady on the back and say, hey, good job, good pass right there. Beep, roughing the passer penalty, 15 yards, automatic first down. Like, that's when that started happening, that Tom Brady injury. So then you move to the 2009 NFC Championship game again. Now, at that point, with those quarterback roughing the passer calls, I was like, man, you're getting soft, man. This is the NFL. Things happen. They're football players too. Dudes are going to get hurt. You can only do so much. But this is what the NFL has become. Okay, fine. You got to get used to it. You got to adapt. You got to know what to expect if you're a fan watching this game. And then the 2009 NFC Championship game happened. And this dude, Brett Favre, the Minnesota Vikings, led by Brett Favre, went to the Superdome against the New Orleans Saints. And forget the whole Bounty Gate scandal. I'm talking about in real time. This was 2010 technically, but the 2009 season's NFC Championship game, I said this in real time as I was watching. I was like, yo, this is crazy. All these late hit after late hits that this dude Brett Favre is taking, and these referees don't want to throw a flag at all. You're not throwing a flag? Are you serious right now? This was happening all game long. This dude Brett Favre, long after he was delivering passes to his receivers, was getting hit after hit. I'm talking about Saints dudes running into his legs, his ankles. This dude at one point was getting driven, took pile drivers to the ground all game long, and they called nothing. And I was like, yo, that's so unfair, because now the playing field is uneven. Forget the fact that they're cheaters. You're referees. You're supposed to control the game, and they didn't control the game. They let it get out of hand. And what did we hear? Oh, get over it. Oh, it happens. Blah, blah, blah. Then the Bounty Gate scandal came out, and it was like, oh, yeah, you really did cheat. I don't care the fact that you had a bounty out. It's more so the fact that the referees sat there, they had front row seats to that debacle out there at the Superdome where Brett Favre was just getting destroyed all game long. They had front row seats and didn't do a damn thing. They let it just go turn into Animal House for all that matters. So anyway, you fast forward to now. On Sunday, the NFC Championship game, Rams at Saints. One missed call as far as against the Saints. There were plenty of missed calls where the Saints had multiple face masks, delay a game, but they didn't call that. But one missed call in a crucial moment against the New Orleans Saints was clearly a pass interference, and all of a sudden they're outraged. Oh my God, and what this dude Sean Payton, head coach Sean Payton, you got some nerve, dude. I got some sound bites from this dude's post game presser. This dude said,
further evaluate the replay system. You know, there's just too much at stake. And it's a hard job for those guys because it's happening fast. But I don't know if there was ever a more obvious pass interference call that, here it is, the NFC Championship game. So, tough one to swallow.
Tough one to swallow. Yeah, a more obvious penalty that should have been called. And this was in the NFC Championship game. Just like throughout the entire 2009 NFC Championship game, the obvious roughing the passer calls that weren't called through an entire game, and we're sitting here bitching about one call that didn't get made. Get out of here, man. Y'all got some nerve. Y'all were dirty as hell. Y'all didn't have any concern about the Vikings whatsoever, but now that it happens to you on one play, you want to raise all holy hell. This dude also said,
you can't dwell on it. We probably never get over it. The truth is, you always, some of these losses like this, but one like that, it's too bad.
We'll never get over it. Really? Get over it. Just like, Vikings fans, you're just crybabies. Just get over it. And you know what's funny? Not only did Sean Payton, was he bitching, Gail Benson, the New Orleans Saints owner, she released a statement. She said, and I quote, "No team should ever be denied the opportunity to reach the title game or simply win a game based on the actions or inactions of those charged with creating a fair and equitable playing field. As is clear to all who watch the game, it is undeniable that our team and fans were unfairly deprived of that opportunity yesterday. I have been in touch with the NFL regarding yesterday's events and will aggressively pursue changes in NFL policies to ensure no team and fan base is ever put in a similar position again. It is a disservice to our coaches, players, employees, and most importantly, the fans fans who make our game possible. The NFL must always commit to providing the most basic of expectations, fairness and integrity. Oh, y'all can cry me a bayou. Get that fake ass crap out of there. Oh my God, talk about pot calling kettle black. Get out of here with that crap. You know what's funny? Yes, you won the Super Bowl in 2009 and deserved an asterisk next to it because you cheated. But I love the fact that the Saints are going through heartbreak after heartbreak. They sold their souls through that Bounty Gate scandal, and the referee sitting there just sitting idly by, pretending like nothing was happening at all. Y'all sold your souls, and now all of a sudden you're going to go through infinite heartbreak, and I love it. The Marshawn Lynch, the Beastquake run that he had up when he was with the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, he was with them for a long time for that matter. But this was at Seattle, the Beastquake mode run that he had. The Minneapolis Miracle last year, and the non-pass interference call that happened on Sunday. It's beautiful to see. I love it. I love it. Screw the Saints. Oh, what did we do? Oh, we should change it. This is the most egregious. Screw them. Screw the Saints. Y'all couldn't even, not even the whistling fan could save y'all asses with the distracting whistles. Man, that was so annoying to watch, but I loved it. I loved every second of it. I'm glad y'all, it's not even the fact that y'all lost. You lost that way. And the fact that you're saying that everything that Vikings Nation was saying almost 10 years ago, man, screw the Saints. I hope y'all lose like that forever. Even if the Vikings win a championship, I hope y'all lose another 10 years like that after the Vikings win a championship. Screw the Saints. Anyway, moving on from that. What do we got? Oh, yeah, the Patriots, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, something that came up, and now all of a sudden we're in outrage. We're in full mob mode talking about, oh, we need to change the rules. We should need to change the overtime rules because the Patriots, they scored in overtime. They scored a touchdown, and that eliminated the Chiefs. They didn't even get a chance to get the ball back. And to that, I say, no, keep it the same. Nobody wanted any rules changed until that game on Sunday. Everybody else seemed to be perfectly fine with that. I'm all for having an entire fifth quarter, if necessary, kind of like the NBA or any other sport for that matter, to where you get the full clock to play. No sudden death or anything like that. You get the full clock to play. And then after that, if it's still tied, then you go into sudden death maybe. But you go through a full fifth quarter, and then whoever is on top, they win the game. But if you're going to keep this sudden death aspect to the overtime rules, then you can keep it as is. When it was a field goal and done, that I was against all that. But all you're asking is some grown-ass men to not allow a touchdown. I don't think that's a lot to ask at all. Don't allow a touchdown. These are some grown-ass men. Just like the college rules. Screw that. Look, in college, you can land with 1 foot with the ball, and that counts as a reception. In the NFL, you need 2 feet to land with the ball to count as a reception. I'm sorry. Look, defense is tired. The offense is tired too. It's even playing field. Don't allow a touchdown, and you give your offense the opportunity to get the ball back and hopefully win the game or tie it to go into further sudden death. So I don't think the rules should be changed at all. And then we gotta be real careful with this, because let's say if something happens next year, or they change the rules this year, right? Okay, fine. Then next year, you see a game, you wanted to see more of it. What are we going to do? We're going to change the rules then too? Every single game, oh, we need to change these rules. This wasn't fair. It totally was fair. The defense of the Chiefs, they stunk. They bleeped the bed, and they gave the Patriots the win. Don't give up a touchdown, and you'll be fine. Then lastly, the other thing that happened as far as revolving the Vikings is that I saw a report that the U.S. Bank Stadium is going through renovations before the 2019 season. Renovations? U.S. Bank Stadium has been up for like a half hour, and you need renovations already? I don't even know what to say to that. Hopefully, I'll be out there next year. I want to try to get out there. My family, my in-laws, they're all Eagles fans, so I think it would be really cool if we all go to U.S. Bank Stadium, because if I'm not mistaken, the Eagles are coming to U.S. Bank Stadium to face the Vikings. We'll try to go out there. But renovations already? That's crazy, man. So anyway, we do this twice a week. Mediokr Best Sports Podcast with Realistic Randy. On Tuesdays, SKOR North, so no longer 1500 ESPN, SKOR North. And on Saturdays, my podcast, you can search YouTube, Realistic Randy. Twitter, @Realistic_Randy. Facebook, @Realistic Randy. We will see you on Saturday.